Also, quick side note: McGregor Chandler co-main, John Aspinall main event. Hey,
The biggest fight card of all
of
time.
all
I don't
time,
care who you have on the rest of the fights. I don't care.
of all time, bro. That would be. Those would sell out so fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. In today's video, we will be giving you a breakdown of all the fights that took place out in Madison Square Garden for UFC 309, starting with the main event. But before we dive into the card, we just want to give a quick thanks to all of you as our current subscribers, our current viewers, and even those who aren't subscribed. We appreciate you as always. But if you aren't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. On the road to 200. I think we're at 117 now, something like that. We appreciate it. Let's keep building this community as big as we possibly can. Also, the giveaway winner from last week was our buddy Nate. So thank you for commenting. We appreciate it. Let's continue to get comments in the comment section every single week, even on weeks that we don't do giveaways. We love hearing from you guys. It's always fun to interact. Without further ado, JP, I'll hand it over to you to kick us off for UFC 309's recap.
Wow, what a card! Glove change, and now they're going back to the gloves for like fight nights to close out the year or something. I don't know, but I would say overall it's a pretty good card. Lived up to the hype. Chandler Oliveira fight was pretty badass. We'll get to that, but yeah, John Jones, Stipe. Obviously, everybody knows how I feel about John. I did pick Stipe. Yeah, is what it is. I mean, beautiful placement with the heel. Snuck it right under his elbow. Stipe seems slow. His reactions, his reflexes, like Tom was saying in that, I think it was that night, like an interview or something that they had. Stipe's just didn't have the reflexes, the speed. Surprised it didn't end in the first round. Getting beat up, elbows, nasty elbows. I don't think we saw 12-6, did we?
I think he might have thrown one in there
Yeah,
just for good measure.
yeah, just to pop it off a little bit, and then Stipe retired. Shocker, we missed the fucking over under of retirements. If we would have bet on that, would have missed that too. Because we said over 2.5, and only two people did it. So is what it is. But yeah, man. I mean, John afterwards saying we'll talk with Dana and see if we give you guys what you want to see, because that's what should happen. I mean, this man's fucking. I see this dude all the time. I go out, start throwing bread out. Here he comes. The family of ducks, they're coming up looking for pieces of bread. I want to see Tom and John. Good win. Nasty. Not on the liver, but I mean, that kick, breaking ribs,
Yeah.
pushing ribs in. I mean, it was nasty. Good win for him.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, the one thing that stood out to me the most is just the efficiency from John. Like, the dude didn't miss with his striking. Significant strikes, 96 for 119. That is a great clip to land your significant strikes. Total strikes, 104 out of 128. Like, he's so accurate, so skilled. He has so many things in his bag, so many ways to hurt you. And it showed on Saturday. Stipe was a touch slow. We saw that as well. Didn't defend the takedown. John came in with a beautiful trip and then made him pay with the elbows in the first round. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. But I think this one just goes to show John's on a whole nother level, dude. Especially in this heavyweight division. I would love to see the Tom Aspinall fight. I think they make it happen. I think they convince John that this is the right thing to do, and I think they fight. And I think it's going to be a ginormous fight when it does happen. As far as pay-per-view sellouts, the crowd selling out, like I just think it's going to be one for the ages. I'm excited to see it. But overall, great win for John Jones. JP picked Stipe out of hate. I think JP truly deep down knew John Jones was going to get it done. John Jones is the better fighter. He's undefeated for a reason, dude. He's just so good. All right, let's move down to Charles Oliveira, my boy. defeating Michael Chandler via unanimous decision. Were you surprised to see it go all 5 rounds?
Uh, kinda. Actually, yeah, kinda. Um, I mean, Charlie O, your another lock hit. Fucking get to mine, Jesus Christ. Yeah, a little bit. He had his back a couple times. Chandler was doing the right thing. The takedowns are just a weird thing. Like I see a couple people online saying like Michael Chandler, you guys hype up his wrestling, but his takedown defense is terrible. I mean, look at what Charles did. Brother, come on. The reason he's sitting back like that and he's defending immediately, Charles is a fucking king at taking the back. If you try and sprawl, if he tries and freaks out, tries and turns into him, I mean, Charles will be patient and just let you put yourself into a submission, and he'll just transfer from one to the other. So Charles is a tough out for anybody. I don't like how Charles was getting punched in the eye. He never got poked. They were punches every time, and he would just back up and like hold his eye and like just kind of slow down, and Mike would press him. I don't like that. I get your eye hurts, but get on your fucking bike and run, bro. Like get away. And then Chandler fucking feel the way you want about Chandler. This guy's so entertaining to watch fight every time he fights. The ending, I mean, Charles is on his back, stands up twice, boom, drops him, gets up again, boom. He's talking the whole time too. Entertaining as fuck.
Yeah.
Good win by Charles. I just feel like it's gonna be hard to beat Islam. I'd like to see the fight, but I feel like it's just gonna be hard for Charles. But Mike calling out Connor again. I think it's a pipe dream. I don't think it happens ever.
I don't know, man. That's a fight for Chandler to call out because who else is Chandler going to fight? He's losing to everybody. Barely beats Tony Ferguson. I mean, say what you want. Michael Chandler got dropped in that fight. Caught him with that nice sub kick. He's an entertaining fighter, and at this point, he is an entertainer. You heard him at post fight. Are you not entertained? That's what he's trying to go out and do. The body slams were cool. He lost the fight, and somehow every single person is going to forget that he actually lost the fight. They just think of Michael Chandler and all the excitement that he brings, and I'll give him that. But that's exactly why you go out and recall out Conor McGregor because both of them at this point in their careers are losing fights, but they're the most entertaining men to watch fight. And that's a big money fight if they can get it together. Who else do you call out if you're Michael Chandler? I think it's a perfect call out. Let's make that fight happen. It would be interesting to see, and I think they'd probably match up pretty well against each other at this point in their careers. Carlos Oliveira, on the other hand, he's looking to fight for a title. He's not just looking to put on a performance, he's looking for the belt. And I think you saw that on Saturday. He almost got finished because of illegal blows to the back of the head. I
Oh,
mean, those were illegal. JP didn't mention it. I'm surprised he
I
didn't.
know. I
But the ref
forgot.
should have taken a point. He should have separated them, taken a point. Michael was just beating up forearm on the back of the head, and I thought the ref was going to step in and finish the fight when all those were illegal blows. So, yeah, good performance by Charles. Exciting performance from Michael. I think the perfect thing would be Michael versus Connor. Charles, he deserves to fight for the belt. He broke the news today that he was actually going through a knee injury, pretty severe knee injury through training camp. Didn't allow him to train for 15 to 20 days at a time. And so he did a lot of mental work and just focused on cutting weight. He didn't have the training camp that he wanted, still went out and dominated. He's amazing. But good fight overall, very entertaining fight.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I can't believe I forgot. But Keith Peterson, get him the fuck out. Why does he have a job? Keith, dumb piece of shit Peterson. Brother, you're standing right there. There's quite literally nothing else for you to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, me and you were sitting there like, what is happening? Clear as day
Yeah.
to the back of the head. That fucking, I forget his name, that one boxer, he's crippled now because of that shit. And Mike's just raining him down. Like, what are we doing, Keith? You fucking moron. Also, quick side note, McGregor Chandler co-main, John Aspinall main event. Hey,
Biggest fight card of all
of
time.
all
I don't
time.
care who you have on the rest of the fights. I don't care.
Of all time, bro. Those would sell out so fast.
Put a bunch of cans on all the rest of the fights. Have those two at the top. Everybody's tuning in.
Go back to the
More than
sphere.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Yeah, right.
That's funny. I don't know. We might want to see fucking Mike's ass cheeks again. But anyways, moving down. Paul Craig, Bo Nickel. You asked me if I was surprised the last one went the distance. Were you
Yeah.
surprised this one went the distance?
100%. Bo Nickel, a much more skilled fighter all around. He looked like he wanted to go out and tune up his striking. He got a lot of criticism for it, not only from the announcers, but from the public as well, all over social media. He is a national champ wrestler, one of the best wrestlers that we've seen come out of the collegiate levels. And he didn't wrestle Paul Craig once. And I found that very interesting. But like at the same time, he didn't have to. He was dominating Paul from start to finish. It's just a matter of like, from a betting perspective, you don't really know what you're going to get out of Bo. I mean, the line for it to go to decision was super high, probably the best line out of all the potential options. And Bo just sat back and struck. He didn't take him down, didn't go for his own sub, which is fine. It's smart. He's a very well coached, high IQ fighter. He's just not providing the excitement and the fights that we expect out of a guy like Bo Nickel with the skill set of Bo Nickel. He's moving on to 7-0, still undefeated. I mean, don't really know what to make of it. Besides, he stayed safe from Paul Craig's submissions. That's about it. That's about it. I don't really know. We'll see him up against another guy. We'll see who they match him up against. And is Bo going to wrestle? Is he not going to wrestle? Who knows? But, I mean, good win for him.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he takes this fight and goes back and watches the film and like learns quite a bit from it on the feet. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it. I mean, he was at least knocking people out. He was at least clipping people. Granted, he clipped Bo. He clipped Paul a couple times, but
Yeah, but Paul gets clipped when he lays down on his pillow to go to bed at night. Like, that's a normal thing for Paul Craig.
yeah. And I would have liked to see him wobble him a little bit more, be a little bit more technical. I mean, all Paul Craig's got really is that fucking body kick that he blasts off his power leg. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But like you said, he stayed safe and he won the fight. I mean, how many up and coming prospects, how many guys are a massive favorite to fight Paul Craig and then they get subbed? They fall for the trap, and then
Mhm.
everybody's like, oh, he sucks now. Fraud check, fraud check. Bo didn't get fraud checked. I mean,
Yeah.
he got tested, but he won the fight, and now people still aren't happy with it. I get it.
Well, they're not yeah, they're not happy with it, but are they gonna remember it the next time he fights? No, they're gonna
Nah,
look at his record and be like, "Oh,
he's undefeated.
defeated.
Yeah,
This is exciting." Yeah, right.
exactly. It was. I don't know. He won the fight. I mean, Paul Craig. I mean, Bo's a phenomenal wrestler, but let's not sugarcoat it. I mean, off your back, Paul Craig is. I mean, one of the nastiest people in the UFC to ever do it. It's dangerous, regardless. I mean, you get
Mhm.
tired and shit, and you make a mistake. Paul Craig's not a guy to. His technique's not trash to where you can still get out of it. If it's tight, it's tight.
Yeah. All right. The moment you've all been waiting for, the woman that let us down. Um, big time. Viviana Aruhu took on Karini Silva, beat her via unanimous decision.
This is it. You guys have seen my retirement. You guys are watching it live. This is my retirement speech. Okay? I am retiring and done with locking, betting, anything to do with my money on women's fights. I'm over it. I can sound like a piece of shit. Is what it is. I'm fucking over it. Okay? And then on social media, there's some people that are pissed that Karini Silva got robbed. Hey, me and Brevins are the me and Brevins. Hey Brevins. We're the first people to come out and fucking let you guys hear it. Let you guys know when we feel like we got robbed. Okay? We've done our fair share. This was in no way a robbery. I can see how you're upset about unanimous. Okay? Sure. You can make an argument for that. I mean, maybe one of the judges had Silva winning 1 and 3. Who knows? Besides that, that was fucking horrendous, pathetic, trash, all the above. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So bad. First of all, we're wasting all this energy throwing this fucking up kick. You probably threw about 40 of them in the fight. How many did she land, Brevin?
of the stats are lying to us because I can tell you, I personally watched her throw at least 20 up kicks, and I think one of them found the body, and that was about it.
Stop throwing it. We're standing there at range where she couldn't even hit her with a jab because she's that far away, and she's just ace, ace, kicking air. And then in the third round, I cannot stand this shit. Are we watching Herbert Burns fight again? You're falling on your back, using your hands to
Hmm.
keep your head up, and you're just kicking at her legs. Get the fuck off the ground. No shit, she lost this fight. If I'm a judge and you keep falling over on your back like that, using your hands to hold you up, why the fuck would I pick you to win that fight? Pathetic showing. Terrible lock call by me. Whatever, dude. I'm just so over it. It's just so bad when she looks so good against other people, and then this fight she comes out here and just. I don't know if New York was too big of a stage or what, but that was terrible.
Yeah, and Aruhu is not somebody that Silva should have a problem with, but she went 1 for 7 with her takedowns. Absolutely atrocious. And not only that, it's not like she was just getting stuffed. She was shooting so like poorly. The entries were terrible. She would shoot from too far out. She looked labored. She looked tired, out of breath, and then she couldn't land a takedown. And then she get popped once and lay back down on her back trying to kick like JP had said. This was a terrible outing for Karini Silva. And yeah, I agree with JP. I don't think it was a robbery whatsoever. You make an argument that maybe it was split. I think she lost the fight, and that's that. We're not gonna sit here and argue for our side. We both had Karini Silva, not only with the predictions, not only with the lock, but quite a bit of money too. And a lot of moolah was lost on this girl right here. And so she's done. She's done for this show. You guys will not see us or catch us putting money on Karini Silva, let alone locking Karini Silva or any women's fighter from that sense from here on out. It's just too risky. They don't implement good game plans, and then they get caught. It's just a coin toss, honestly. And so yeah, I agree with JP. Like even my Jillian Robertson lock last weekend for you guys, kind of sketchy. Kind of sketchy. She needed round three. It was 1-1 going into round three. She got a nice takedown, and that was it. But if she wouldn't have gotten that takedown, she was getting beat up. Like, I'm done dealing with it.
And then just the, I mean, again, the up kick and so many other strikes. I mean, how many fucking, she threw 155 of those strikes. At least 70 of those are just little, it's not even trying to hit her, just trying to throw volume out in front of her. What are we doing? You're not trying to hit her with any conviction. Laying on your back. I'm over it. I'm over it. It's just pissing me off again. God. Robbery? No. Karini sold, basically, was all it was. Anyways, whatever. Moving down. First fight on the main card. Roofie Lontop.
Yeah. I mean, the statistics of coming out of this fight are very interesting to see. Um, Lontop landed a lot more strikes, total strikes overall. Also landed a lot more significant strikes than Rufy. However, the damage that Rufy was doing with his strikes was apparent. He also got the knockdown. Looked like he almost finished the fight a few times throughout the course of the entirety of the fight. So when you just look at the stats, it's like, whoa, Lontop had a good fight. He did okay. He held his own at times, but Rufy is just so slick. And he has great boxing. He has phenomenal boxing. We didn't see as much jujitsu as I thought we'd see out of Rufy in this one. He didn't shoot any takedowns, but he also didn't get taken down. Stayed safe in that department. Put on a nice little clinic throughout the entirety of the fight.
Yeah. Lontop went 0 for 6. Brevin, I think you said it perfectly when we were watching it. You said we had a couple other buddies with us, and they were asking him about Lontop and Roofy, and Brevin was like, Lontop's just one of these guys that we talk about that's just a tough guy, and they're good at being a tough guy. But when it comes to winning the fight, being a tough guy only takes you so far. So yeah, I mean, Lontop, he can eat a shot. That's for fucking damn sure. Kid can take a shot. Roofy gassed a little bit. tiny bit at the end of the fight, but I mean, you're hitting this dude in front of you with bombs, and this guy's not going away, and so it's tough. I mean, I'm sure it's exhausting, and then he's constantly moving, but I like Rufi, man. Obviously, you want to see him put him away at what -1,000, but the Bo Nickel fight's the same way, -1,000, and we don't put him away. So in that aspect, it kind
Yeah.
of sucks, but got the win.
Yeah. 29-28 across the board on a -1,000 favorite is a little intriguing. And yeah, I didn't like the line. The line, I mean, if it's ever like that, you would have better luck throwing your money on the dog, because this is the result. Like going to unanimous decision, you never really know what's going to happen if it does go to the judges. So I think you got a better shot making money on the underdog there. But another good win for Rufy. He's going to move up in competition a little bit. I'll be interested to see how he performs. Lontop's not a great fighter in this division. He's a tough guy. Um, and he did okay. He did okay against Rufy. So we'll see how Lontop does against somebody that's maybe not an up and coming prospect, or he's not fighting on super short notice like he did the fight before this one. All right, let's all move on down to the prelims. Jonathan Martinez took on Marcus McGee, ended up losing that one by unanimous decision.
Yeah, we were split on this one. Brevin took Martinez. I took McGee. McGee looks good. I mean, he throws volume too. Carini Silva, fucking take notes. McGee throws volume, but his volume's at least touching. His volume's at least getting there. We're in, we're out. If we're gonna throw kicks, we're gonna throw kicks meaning to hit them, not hoping, praying that they walk into it. And then Jonathan, I mean, how many leg kicks did he land? Because watching the fight,
21.
21. And Marcus landed 24. So I wonder if Martinez checking a couple of McGee's leg kicks as well helped towards hurting him. Because Marcus McGee was hurt at some point. He's outstriking Martinez because Martinez doesn't want to throw a single fucking strike. And then all
Mm-mm.
of a sudden in the third round, boom, hit his leg, and here goes McGee. He's hopping. He's hopping. I mean, you'd think, smart fighter, I'm going to press him, make sure his back's up against the cage. I'm going to throw leg kicks. I'm going to strike. I'm going to cut him off because he's on one leg. Just keep him on the cage. So what does Martinez do? Literally puts him on the cage and then grapples, ties up, and then keeps him there. Okay, dude. You've been losing this whole fight, and then you hurt him, and then the first thing you do is grab him for the first time in the fight after you hurt him. Good call, pal.
Yep.
Um, I said he was a point striker before this. I was wrong. I lied to you guys. He's not a point striker because he doesn't even throw anything to get points. McGee won. Decent fight. McGee's got to address the leg kick blueprint that people have to get him out of there now.
I mean, dude, don't get me started. I picked Martinez. You guys saw the potential in Jonathan Martinez on Saturday, and when the leg kicks were landing, Marcus McGee could barely stand. And that's been his MO throughout his entire career. Leg kicking, getting people out of there. And like you land some effective leg kicks, and it could definitely make you a very dangerous fighter, but you have to mix in the hands. You have to be more active to win these types of fights. You threw very little strikes, landed 49. I don't know what to tell you, Jonathan. I really don't know what to tell you. 49 total strikes you landed. 21 of those were leg kicks. Dude, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna lose my mind on Jonathan Martinez. He pisses me off, dude. We retired from betting on women's fights or locking women's fights. Jonathan Martinez, I mean, he might be a fraud. If you can't kick a guy's legs out, Jonathan Martinez has nothing else to offer. Like if I go into this fight with Jonathan Martinez knowing that the guy's got decent defense with the leg kicks, it's wraps. It's wraps. I should have known that after the Jose Aldo fight because he doesn't throw his hands. He doesn't trust his hands. He stayed safe from Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee puts people out there. Marcus McGee's never been to decision before. That's cool. That's cool. If he would have thrown better with his hands, I think he wins that fight because of how compromised he had him with the leg kicks. But if you don't use everything, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Martinez, you kind of suck, buddy. Your IQ's low. I don't know what they coach you over there at your gym, bro. Like, just throw the leg kick, and then you clinch up. What are we doing? I don't know.
It's just mind blowing.
That bad call. Bad call for me.
And I picked McGee. So, like, I'm not trying to prey on his downfall here, but, like, he's hopping around on one leg. So I'm like, fuck. Here we go. Fuck. Stay safe. I was yelling at the TV. Brevin can attest to this. I was yelling at the TV for McGee to take him down. For McGee to clinch up. Because he can't stand. Long behold, here comes Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
Waddles over there. Boom. Grabs him, holds him against the fence. I said, oh, okay. This is fine, too. Just keep him there. I mean, he said negative IQ. No fucking kidding.
100% negative IQ. One more leg kick would have made McGee fall to the ground. He wouldn't have been able to stand back up. We would have seen another Herbert Burns situation when the ref comes in, it's like, stand up, and he just can't. And then they call the fight. But no, Martinez literally helped out McGee by clinching up with him. Like, do we not see the writing on the wall? Do we not see your opponent jumping around on one foot? I don't get it, dude. I truly don't understand from the Martinez side. I'm done with that guy.
That'll be a theme that you guys will probably hear throughout this card with how upset we are with some of the fighters. This next one, okay, man. Jim Miller, Damon Jackson.
God, terrible, terrible. Yeah. Damon Jackson shot a takedown, got guillotined super early in the fight. And that was pretty much all you need to know about this fight. Two old men. Jim Miller wants 50 fights, so he's at least going to get to 50 fights, which means what? Four more fights for him?
I think so, 4 or 5.
Yikes. God. I hate watching him fight. Honestly. I mean, I hate predicting it. Like, he's fun to watch fight at times, but like, I hate trying to predict this guy because he'll look terrible against one guy, but then a guy like Damon Jackson, oh no, I didn't see this coming, to be honest. We picked Damon Jackson. We were quickly let down. It is what it is. Just a tough fight to predict.
You shoot a takedown. Your hands are behind his ass. Okay? When I shoot a takedown on somebody and I can squeeze their ass cheeks with both my hands, we should be able to get the takedown. We're deep. Okay? If I can put my finger in your little butt, not trying to be vulgar, I'm just saying. Should be a deep takedown. Okay? But then he lets it go. Switches to a single. He's got his leg. Okay. That's fine. Didn't want the double. Grab the single. Stuff his leg. Run the pipe. Then he lets that go. And so Jim Miller goes, okay. And Damon's just sitting there bent over with his head out. Like he's in a fucking actual guillotine machine. All right, pal. And then he wants to retire. And they say, hey, that's cool. We appreciate you. You want to interview? No. All right. Go be mad. Go pout. Because your cheeks. All right. Enjoy the hair implants.
Yeah. He's terrible. I'm glad he retired so I don't have to break down another fight of his.
100%.
All right. Next fight, David Onama versus Roberto Romero. Onama got it by unanimous decision. An interesting one, though, to say the least. Romero almost had a knockout early. Had us on our toes.
Yeah. That was kind of crazy. If anything, this card taught me a lot about short notice fights. I mean, you called it perfectly when I was talking about it because we didn't get a chance to break this down because this fight was added pretty late. So we just kind of, and it always happens, we just kind of pick the guy that we know more. We've never heard of Romero, so we're like, we'll go with Onama. And then when we're watching it, he gets dropped, and I look at Brevin, and I'm like, see, this is such horseshit. Now our record's going to look worse because we never had a chance to break it down. Onama's a fucking closed at minus 2,500. Jesus Christ. And then people who took Romero's money line were probably going crazy when he dropped him. And then Brevin's like, no, I don't know. He's throwing hard. He's got a high pace. I think he gasses out. Long and behold, Romero did start to slow down. His little man bun was getting untucked and uncurled and shit.
Was he wrecked?
Onama, I'll hand it to Onama. He got cracked. He got rocked. Gets up. Dude's not worried. Dude's not breathing hard. Dude's not nothing. He's sitting there calm. Looks at the clock. Looks at his coach. Gives him a thumbs up. Says, I'm good. Comes out in second round, does his thing. Comes out in the third round, and he's talking to him now. He's chirping. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Hits him, slips. I like Onama. I like Onama a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. JP alluded to it, man. Whenever Onama got dropped, I was like, "Oh, let's see if he survives." And if he does survive, we've seen this story before. These guys on short notice going up against a huge favorite, an up and coming prospect. They're going to empty the tank early, trying to get him out of there, trying to cause a big upset, trying to put on a performance. However, if the guy survives, there's nothing left. There's no gas left in the tank. And I said that our buddy got Onama at a pretty damn good line considering where he closed at on the live odds. So made a little money off of Onama, which not a lot of people can say they did. Mostly because I gave him the recipe to success. Like, look, Romero looked good in the first round. It's not going to stay there. He can't keep up that pace. And then Onama did his thing, his game. Very slick striking. Looked very good. I also like Onama a lot.
Yeah, I think he got him at like what, like minus 300 something after it was minus 2,500. Hey, maybe live betting's the way to go, man. With these heavy favorites, you let them drop a little bit.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And one of the other things too, like, is the Bo Nickel fight. Like, the lines were so bad in favor of Bo Nickel, like so bad. The bell rings, they come forward, no strikes have been landed, the line just instantly plummets. And then all of a sudden you can get decent value on Bo Nickel, whereas before you were betting him at minus 1,000. I was like, what are we talking about? Neither one of them has landed a strike. I don't know. So yeah, live betting on the big favorites is the way to go because instantly that line will just drop. It will plummet. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that moving forward.
Hey,
I'll get pretty good value once that bell rings.
something, yeah, something to remember because like especially these wrestlers that get clipped early. If it shifts to dog money and they're still alive, come second, third round, might just break a
Yeah.
little bit. But oh my god, I forgot about this fight. Marcin Tybura, Joe Nata D's nuts. What'd you think?
Yeah, this was a good fight overall. Two big boys went the way I predicted. I like Tabira's wrestling in this one. Denise just doesn't have a ground game. And we saw that. We saw the power from Denise, which is why I was going to pick him over Derek Lewis. It definitely is there. He's such a powerful guy, but he can't wrestle, and that's going to be an issue for him moving forward. If he's up against anyone that can wrestle, watch out. And that's why I was so confused after the Carl Williams fight because Carl Williams is a pretty good wrestler. He had gotten taken. Denise had gotten taken down by Austin Lane. I was like, well, let's put our faith in Tibura to finally land a takedown. And that he did. He landed one takedown. That was all he needed. Busted him open. Elbow, elbow, elbow. Denise's face was very badly beaten. Um, Doctor came in, stopped it because of how wobbly Denise's legs were in between rounds. He barely made it back to his corner, and he didn't do it under his own power. His coaches had to come in, drag him to the stool. Uh, yeah, I'm I like Denise, dude. And against the right opponent, I will hammer Denise by KO. But against a good wrestler, someone that's been there, done that, even with Tibura being like nearly 40 years old, I gotta take that guy.
Um, yeah, Brevin's sitting here saying that Tybura only got one takedown, and if you watch the fight, you might be like, "Oh, what is this guy talking about? He got two takedowns." Nope. I'm done. I told you guys about the Karini Silva thing. I'm done with these fat, unathletic heavyweights. Denise, he's never getting my money again either. Fuck him. Okay? You fucking moron. Brevin's saying he doesn't have a ground game. He doesn't have brains. You clipped this guy before the fight. What is your team talking to you about? What are you looking at? How are you analyzing the matchup? This guy's a black belt on the ground. I am not. I'm a high-level kickboxer. What are we going to try to do? Knock him out and stay off the fucking ground. Beginning of the fight, clips him. Boom. And what is your dumbass? Oh, let me fall him to the ground. Oh, let me fall for a leg. What are you going to do? Leg lock him, pal? You're gonna leg lock a black belt, and then boop, Tiburo, okay, just rolls over, and then recovers, beats his ass. Second round comes out, grabs him, takes him down easy, beats his ass, elbow, elbow. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I don't feel bad for you. You're an idiot. You're a dumbass. You clipped him. Could have just backed up. Clip him, literally back up 10 feet and tell the ref, stand him up. Guess what? If he can't stand up, Herbert Burns Central, you win the fight. Dumbass. Never get my money. Hate it. Can't stand it. The negative IQ's mind-blowing. It makes no sense to me. I'll crash out over this every time. When you're the better striker and you clip somebody and you know they're better at grappling than you, back the fuck up. Jonathan Martinez, when you hurt somebody's leg, kick their other leg. Don't grab him. Yeah, heat of the moment, this and that. Come on, dude. You're at the beginning of the fight. There's no heat of the moment. The fight just started. You're not tired. You're not sweaty. Nothing.
I mean, and that's the difference, JP, that we see in the top level guys versus these guys that have a decent career in the UFC and then they get cut eventually is literally fight IQ. Look at the Habib Nurmagomedovs. Look at the John Joneses. When if they saw a guy jumping around on one leg, guess what they're gonna do? Not clench. If they know they're going up against a really dangerous submission artist, guess what they're gonna do when they clip you? Not jump into your guard. It's pretty simple to figure it out, and some of these guys just can't. They can't. And that will be the story of their career, and that will always haunt them.
I mean, that's a perfect example. And like the John Jones fight where he knocked out DC with a head kick. Yes, I know he cheated. I'm just not going to say it anymore because nobody gives a fuck. But, I mean, clips him, right? Wobbles him with a head kick. And then DC's wobbled, but DC's smart enough. I got to get out of here. DC gets on his bike, right? Takes off. What does John do? Okay, what would everybody else do? You wobbled him, the dude takes off running. Chase him, try and throw some wild overhand, head clash. Now you're scrambling. He might clip you because he planted his feet and threw one. Nope, John doesn't do that. John cuts him off, chases him down, boom, kicks the fuck out of his leg so he falls over. I mean, fuck, man. The dude is wobbled. He is not there right now. Why would you do shit to give him a chance? That made literally no sense to me. The one thing that I needed you to do, the one thing that everybody said, this is how you're going to win the fight, happened right away, and you smoked it immediately. I went down to the gas station and got another pack of Marlboros for him because this dude's smoking them that good. I mean, it's so irritating, bro. So irritating.
Yeah. No, it is. You know what I would like to see? Jonathan Martinez versus Herbert Burns. That's what I want to see. I love watching Herbert Burns' downfall. This dude, he's lost what? Four in a row? One, two, three, four in a row in the UFC. And then JP recently he went to the Fury Pro grappling. Lost that too. Lost to Pat Sabatini in that.
He
So
lost to Pat Sabatini in that?
in grappling.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Herbert
He's a
Burns.
bum. He is such a bum.
I want to
All
see
right.
Herbert Burns versus a kangaroo.
I'm gonna have to hammer the kangaroo in that one, JP. There's certain guys I will and
Oh,
certain guys I
man.
wouldn't. Give me the kangaroo. All right, Mickey Gall versus Ramiz Brahimaj went exactly how I thought it would. The New York kid Brahimaj put on a show against the Mickey Gall. I don't know if people like him. I really don't know about Mickey Gall, man. He is unimpressive to me. That's for sure.
Um, so I've had my rant. I've had my spiel. Okay, on the losses that I had on this card. These next two fights, I don't have a spiel. It's just dog shit picks from myself. One of probably the two worst picks I think I've ever had in the history of this show. So, I mean, you can't say we're not making history every week, man. I'm making history somehow. Mickey Gall. I mean, it's different when you're not fighting CM Punk, isn't it? Brahimaj, Stocky, just clipping him. Mickey Gall's doing the same thing I said he was in the video. He just turns his head. Terrible stand up, terrible defense. 7-7 as a pro. Trash. Bad call. I couldn't see him going 7-7. Guess what? I saw him unconscious. There you go.
Yeah, that you did. Miocic, he's an interesting guy. Like, I mean, not a world beater. He's not going to be champion, but he's got decent wrestling, good good submissions in his back pocket, and you saw it on Saturday, especially with these old gloves. He's got power. He can put your lights out too. I like that about him. He's explosive. He's quick. He's fast. He's stocky. I think against the right opponent, he can keep getting it done. He's not had the best go at it so far in the UFC, but this is a good win for him. It can get him right back on track where he needs to be, and he does have a nice little skill set. So we'll see who he gets matched up against next.
Yeah, good win by him. Basil Hafez Oban Elliott.
Yeah, man. Another great call by your boy. Pretty good card, guys. I did all right. Oban Elliott, the Welsh gangster, good jab, smart, good personality. You can't hate him. Basil Hafez, who really knows what he's got besides a split decision loss over Jack Della Maddalena? Everybody's blinded by that. They're like, hey, I look at this on paper. That's going to give me faith that this guy really is something. In that fight, when you watch the fight, he wrestled the heck out of Jack. He wrestled the hell out of him, honestly. Double leg, double leg, double leg. That's what Oban Elliott does well. Stuffs takedowns. He doesn't get taken down. Okay. Well, does Basil have power? He's a big guy. He's strong. He couldn't knock out Mickey Gall. He didn't knock out Jack Della Maddalena or whatever, however you pronounce it. I can't even say that right now. JDM. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does well, to be honest. I don't like him at all. So yeah, I went with Oban. Worked out for me. Oban put on a show.
Good for Oban. 26. I liked Oban. I said that. And he showed me I was a fool for picking against him. Now, Brevin touched on it. What does Oban do well? Stuff takedowns. There were no takedowns to stuff. So he just stuffed his fist down his throat and knocked him out. Brevin said, Basil wrestled the fuck out of JDM. Basil was picking JDM up. That fight, like Brevin said, was on short notice. Do you get what I'm hinting at here? Basil looks different. He doesn't look as big as he used to be. You can pick up JDM, wrestle the shit out of JDM. You can't wrestle Oban Elliott? I know Oban's takedown defense is good. How long's Basil been in the UFC? Perhaps long enough to get drug tested? Feel the way you want. Feel the way you want. But Basil Hafez when he fought JDM and Basil Hafez now, two completely different guys. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's get Carlos Leal on the show. Basil sucks. Basil sucks. Stand-up's terrible. Didn't have power. Didn't wrestle like I said. Thought he was going to wrestle. Good for Oban. Love Oban.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have picked against you. That's on me. All right? My fault. My fault, Oban. All right? Don't beat my ass. My bad. I'm on the Oban train now.
Yeah, Basil literally was one judge's scorecard away from breaking into the top 15. Now he's one fight maybe away from getting cut. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying JP's onto something, but at the same time, I think it just goes to show like short notice fights, you don't really know what you're going to get because the guy's just going to empty the tank. He's going to try everything. He has nothing to lose. So Boswell goes out there and wrestles. Looks pretty good, but he does gas in the third. Maybe he was trying to conserve his energy, thought Oban goes along with everybody. Okay, I'm going to not wrestle early. Well, he never wrestled at all because he got starched. Um, yeah, sometimes, dude, it's best to just go out there, act like you got nothing to lose, because if you don't do that, you will end up losing. That's what happened to Basil. I don't know where he goes from here, but Oban's moving forward. He's moving up the ranks. He's looking good.
Yeah, and like some of you guys might be calling me an idiot because you're like Basil Hafez fights in the UFC. When you're in the UFC, you get drug tested. The JDM fight was on short notice. The same thing with Carlos Leal. When you come in on a short notice fight and they give you money or they want you to help out, There's a period of time. I think it's like 3 months, 6 months. You do not get drug tested at all. These other promotions, the fucking regional scenes, they do not drug test people. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Leal definitely.
That dude's
I
more
mean,
juice than John.
oh boy. Oh man. All right. Veronica Hardy, Eduarda Mora. Man, let's talk about the lines on this one, JP. What happened with the lines on Saturday morning?
We should have told you guys because, I mean, the fucking hundreds of thousands of people that watch this show. I mean, with how many eyeballs we got on our picks every week. It's probably what changed the line. They probably said, hey, Lockdoor MMA is saying Mora is going to work her. And then they just had money flown in. So we got to change this line. We can't have Mora being a dog because Lockdoor MMA is taking us as a fool right now. They're taking too much money from us. Put her as a favorite. So unfortunately, we couldn't get any phenomenal value on her. I mean, she did exactly what we thought she was going to do. She's bigger. She said something about maybe going back to the other weight class again. Don't. You can't make weight there. You're massive for this weight class. You can ragdoll girls. Veronica Hardy's not bad. She's just really small and didn't have good enough grappling. Came down to just that.
Yeah, she got controlled. Morris big for this division, and this isn't even the normal division that she fights in. She moved up for this
You
fight.
should be.
Um, yeah, and she should stay here because she looked good. Striking could use a little bit of work. I don't like the fact that Hardy outstruck her. Looked a little bit cleaner in the pocket, but I do think Mora's power um was a little bit more than Hardy's, and then obviously the wrestling. Mora just took her down, controlled her, did a nice job in that department as well. I like Mora. I think there's a certain skill set that probably beats Mora, but keep an eye out for her moving forward, especially against some of these smaller girls that don't have great wrestling. That's what Mora is gonna do. So easy path to victory. I personally got some dog money on Mora because I bet a little bit earlier than JP does. So that I was happy about that. But yeah, man, we made that call, and all of a sudden, all your guys' money started flowing in on Mora. They had to change the line super quick. So we're robbing these sports books right now, so feels good.
That's when I should have known because when I went to bet, Mora was out of the three dogs, the Denise, Hafez, and Mora. Mora was the only line that changed, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks. I'll still bet the other two dogs though." I should have been like, "Oh, this is a sign."
100%. That does wrap us up for UFC 309, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. We appreciate you guys as always. Leave a comment in the comment section if there's a topic that you want us to discuss. If you want to hear more about fighters getting cut, who we think is going to get cut, things like that, leave them in the comment section. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in to another great weekend. JP, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, man. Another weekend, another good card. Brevin went 9-3. Basic hit, his four-legged basic. All right. Um,
The first four legger.
the first four-legger in locked door MMA history. I told you guys, we're making history every fucking week here. You know. Got screwed on a lock because Karini Silva would rather lay down in the middle of the fight. Basic was just it's on me, guys. It's on me. All right, I get it. I'll take the flag. Is what it is. Think we won't bounce back. Think again. Okay, 9-3. Yeah, man. Next weekend. Next weekend, early fucking card. Too early for Moses. I'm talking early. The fucking prelims start at 1 a.m. Main card starts at 4 a.m. So,
Does it really?
yeah, it's in Macau.
Oh my goodness. Ah, ay,
So,
ay, ay.
stay tuned for the fight stream. We will be here.
The all-nighter?
The all-nighter, man. That would be wild. But, yep, we appreciate you guys. It's fun. John Jones came back. He won. Want to see him fight Tom? Yeah. What a weekend. What a weekend it was. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure. Bingo bango, baby. Peace.